My story starts here, in West Seattle, where I was born at 8 pounds 2 ounces with blue eyes and a really bald head. I guess you could say that I really took after my father. But that really wasn't the case. I was just a baby, and babies are bald. But now I reside in a house on top of 96th Avenue Southeast, Mercer Island. I love this house, but sometimes I wish the view wasn't so taken up by all the trees. The toughest part of my family's dynamic is my father, who is a captain, travels a lot so I don't get to see him as much as I wish I could. But the upside of it is that his company makes up for it by letting my family occasionally join him on the ship. Because of this, I've been fortunate enough to travel to the Antarctic and the Arctic on a couple of occasions, as well as the Galapagos, Tahiti, and Argentina. Despite having a fun-filled childhood, being a teenager has its ups and its downs, like having train tracks for teeth. And first kiss has gone wrong. And worst of all, finding out the hard way and at a swim practice of all places how unforgiving periods can be. Which leads into my newly found favorite quote by Rafiki in The Lion King. Oh yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. Ah! And just to set the record straight, I really like the quote for what it means. Not only because I love The Lion King, but I really do also love that movie. This is not a lion. This is Benson, the new addition to the Freesia Skog family. Now let me introduce you to Sophie. And Sophie? And Sophie!
What? Leave me alone.
Well, I guess I was gonna say this is my sister, but I guess you could have guessed that. And now let's go see my mom. This is my lovely mother. She's a lifesaver, a great cook, and a life giver, because she made me. And she's my best friend.
Nina, have you done your homework?
Yes.
What are you doing messing around with this camera then?
It's for homework.
Bon, j'espère que ce que tu me dis est vrai.
Ugh. Sorry for the sudden change of language. My mom's family came from the Seychelles and is therefore determined to keep my French alive. That's why I attended the French American School of Puget Sound on Mercer Island for elementary and middle school. Finally, my dad, who loves to go on rants about science, physics, and other subjects we can bond over, Einstein. He always loves fly fishing. He was born in Sweden and raised on a farm and still has a really strong Swedish accent. Pappa, kan jag få mjölk snälla?
Yes, after you finish the homework.
Just recently, in November of 2016, I lost my maternal grandfather, whom I cherish dearly. Amongst his many great achievements, he managed to make the fishing of dolphins illegal in the Seychelles. I want to commemorate that achievement and honor him by one day getting a tattoo of a dolphin.
You're not getting a tattoo whilst you're under my roof, young lady.
Well, I'll have to wait until I'm 18, I guess. Meanwhile, until I turn 18, I'm left to indulge in the things that my mom does let me do. I love ice cream, tuna curry, Trader Joe's mac and cheese, and pasta Mondays. Yum. And did I mention milk? I love milk. And my favorite TV shows include Grey's Anatomy, Shameless, Orange is the New Black, Supernatural, Malcolm in the Middle, That 70s Shows, and last but not least, Bob's Burgers. When it comes to sports and school activities, I love swimming. I made Kinko last year. And I like drama, because you can recreate yourself. To be or not to be, that is the question. As for friends, I tend to befriend students in higher grades, making me fearful that I'll be alone when they graduate. For my bucket list, I want to go scuba diving. I also want to go to Hawaii. I love to travel, so if I had a lot of capital, I'd want to start my own airline. Good evening, this is your captain speaking. Just like to welcome you on Nina Airlines. I hope you have a safe and enjoyable flight. I also want to make the world a better place. I would take all the fighter jets and replace their bombs with food and clean water and drop them into impoverished places around the earth. I like music, but I don't think I'd be good at composing it. But I envy the lavish lifestyle. My name is Nina. My family's really cool. When I am older, I'd like to own a pool. I want to one day have my own kids and tell them all of my stories from my childhood so that they can see how my coolness never had a beginning. Your mom was cool the day she was born. This is practice for when I have my real kids. Hello, and welcome to Nina News Network. Today I'm here with Sophie. And Sophie, where do you see me in 20 years?
Nina, I see you in 20 years running an animal shelter because you're just like a really compassionate person, and I sense you have a really strong connection to animals, and this is really your calling. It really is.
Thank you.
Of course.
And now I'm here with Helen. Helen, where do you see me in 20 years?
Mother to you, dear. In 20 years, I think you will be doing extremely well. Nina, you have a keen sense of the community, of being sensitive to people of special needs, and I can see you taking care of a lot of people, and I can see you doing great things.
Our next guest is Leif. Leif, where do you see me in 20 years?
Well, Leif is your dad. And yeah, since I have seen that you're showing lots of empathy for people. And you're also thinking outside the box. So I think you will be maybe a doctor, a nurse, or why not a researcher within how to take care of people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Love you too.
And last, but definitely not least, my wonderful grandmother, France. France, where do you see me in 20 years?
Oh, a wonderful mother with quite a brood.
Merci, grand-mère. Je t'aime.
Moi aussi.
Well, I really appreciate what all of my family members said. So I do take what they said into account, and I think I'm going to set my goal to start helping more people. Thank you. Miss Ray, I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to help me get my grade up back to where it should be. Thank you for always believing in me, and thank you for giving me a second chance. This is so good.